Hello everybody and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as J.R.R, and you are watching the first battle of the second round between Worldstage and Panda Chef, or Stokie Gunnar as he is calling himself in this battle. And he is, Stokie Gunnar slash Panda Chef is playing as Gondor. You can see his army here. He's got a couple of Swan Knights, a bunch of Gondor infantry, more Swan Knights, some militia to kind of soak up archer fire and all that kind of stuff. And he's got a couple units of Tower Guard, more Swan Knights, some Gondor infantry, yet more Swan Knights, some Citadel Guard, and yeah, he's got a lot of Swan Knights, basically. And his opponent Worldstage is playing as the High Elves. And yes, he's got some Norre Tyr no Cav, 2 units of Norre Tyr no Cav, he's got 2 units of Eldar Archers. It's a little laggy, unfortunately. Shit happens. Got 2 or 3 units of Lindon Spears, 2 or 3 units of Sword Quendi, a couple units of Eldar Inway Swordsmen, a couple units of Eldar Inway Spearmen, and some archers and some more Norre Tyr no warriors. Just, you know, your standard sort of heavy late game high elf build. And Worldstage, or not Worldstage, Stokie Gunnar here is moving forward towards his enemy. He's just gonna charge in. It's a really cool battle because Worldstage is the defensive player. He's good at, well, defense, being a defensive player, but he's really good at arranging his army in such a way that it's very formidable. It's difficult to take on. And our other player here, Panda, who is playing as Gondor, he is super aggressive. Every game I've played with him or seen him play, he's always rushing right into the fight. So it's actually a really cool mix of kind of strategies and temperaments that we have going on here. So you guys, I love this battle. Like, I was having a great time with it, and the second one is even better. Oh my god. So stay tuned for that. But as for right now, the Gondor player has absolutely no archer, so he's playing as a rush army. He's going to use his superior numbers here to just try and envelop his opponent. And yeah, his Gondor militia in the front are taking some pretty horrendous casualties from his archer companies hidden in the back there, Worldstage's archer companies, but that's basically what they're there for. They're there to die horribly. And yeah, his cavalry units are lagging a little bit behind most of his infantry body. At this point, I would probably be sending them around to get into position and get themselves ready to attack these elves from behind. He's done a really good job here of outflanking with his infantry and also keeping Worldstage's infantry just busy all the time, so that he can use his superior Cav forces to wheel around the back and engage the Eldar Cav in a decisive action. Unfortunately, Gondor's heavy infantry here is pretty slow, so they are going to take some casualties from the archers coming in. Looks like his Swan Knights here have engaged this unit of Sword Quendi, and they're going to kick a lot of ass. But the Sword Quendi are going to hold on for quite a while. Yeah, you can just get a nice panoramic view here of just exactly what Panda Chef is doing. Yeah, he's thrown some Gondor infantry in there against some Eldar Inway Swordsmen. They're not going to last very long. At this point, I think he should be using his Tower Guard here in reserve to prevent his line from collapsing where the Eldar Inway Swordsmen are. That is just me. He is certainly entitled to do whatever he feels is necessary to win. And he does a great job. Yeah, it looks like Gondor infantry is coming in here. He's going to occupy. This is really good. He's going to occupy 2 units of these spearmen here with just a single unit of infantry. And I think after all of the infantry lines have clashed, he's going to start moving his cavalry into position. Yeah, you can see his cav over in the background there. They're starting to move, but unfortunately they are being targeted en masse by his archer companies. He knows the damage that they can do, so he's actually gonna gun down a lot of Swan Knights. Like, I'm extremely impressed by this. Just look at that. Just brutal slaughter. And over here on the other side, his archer companies are busy doing other things. Looks like, yeah, he's basically just trying to... The high elf player is just trying to shore up his defenses and the Gondor player is trying to slip in between the cracks to deal as much damage as he can. Most of the heavy infantry that Gondor has brought with him are a match pretty much for High Elves. Oh yeah, it looks like he's pulling his cavalry back here just under the weight of the onslaught of the High Elven archer companies. And it looks like these guys are getting shot from behind here. There's a lot to micro all at once, and I think Panda is doing a great job so far. And unfortunately, his Citadel Guard, they're going to take some brutal casualties before they can actually manage to get into combat. These guys are on the move again. That's good to see. But I think his absence of archers is really going to play against him in this. And we have our third matchup, unfortunately, was interrupted by a disconnect. But he seemed to learn from that, as it was like practically a mirror of this battle. But he brought archers, and things went a lot differently. Looks like, yeah, High Elf player is moving his cavalry around. I think at the moment he has local superiority in cav, so until the rest of Panda's his cavalry can get back over here, there's not really going to be a whole lot going on the cav front. It looks like they are going to try and engage that unit of Citadel Guard spearmen who are going for his archers right now. Yeah, we've got some spearmen versus spearmen combat going on here. Looks like the weight of those Swan Knights is way too much for those Sword Quenya, and they're just breaking through. Over on this side, though, it is not going well for the Swan Knights. It's one unit of Swan Knights versus 3 elite units of Elven infantry. It looks like the cav fight is about to get going here. He's throwing his Dole Amroth Swan Knights in here against, I think these are Eldar cav. So it's going to be a pretty even battle. Yeah, there's 2 units of... No, looks like there's a unit of Nori Tyrno and Eldar Cav versus Swan Knights and Gondor Cav. So it looks like the rest of his cavalry is joining the battle here. Some of them are going to get clipped by those Eldar units. But it looks like he's managed to get his troops around here, although I believe they're still being... Yeah, it looks like they're being shot up pretty hard by his archer companies in the middle there. He really needs something to keep those archers busy. Over here, the Cav fight is... I'm not quite sure. It looks like maybe these guys are actually managing to beat back these Eldar Rinway, probably because they're because the Gondor Cav is so much more numerous, but it's really hard to tell. On this side, though, his Cav is being just absolutely devastated by the archers. He can't get in there quick enough, and worldstage is keeping him tied up with his Eldar Cav and his Nori Tyrno Cav units. So yeah, his archers have been pretty much left on their own to do whatever they want to. So Gondor is pushing them back on the infantry front here, although in the center it looks like Gondor's infantry have collapsed. Now these Tower Guard are finding themselves slowly surrounded. Over here we've got some Gondor infantry who aren't doing very well, and there's a pretty even combat between some Eldar Rinway spearmen and some Swan Knights. Over here the Cav fight's getting pretty messy. Looks like he's trying to pull most of his cav away. I think he's actually losing the cav fight, so he's going to try and pull the world stage is going to try and pull Panda's cavalry away from his archers, so they can just continue to do their thing. Looks like there is a unit of Swan Knights here, and Panda Chef sees an opportunity here, and he's going to go for these hated archers. Yeah, he's going to bring a number of units, and in the meantime, he's going to try and keep all these Eldar Rinway units busy as long as he can. This is a cav fight that's going to go on for a while. Like that cav fight at the back there is going to go on for pretty much the rest of the match. So yeah, more and more cavalry pouring into those archers, just trying to keep them busy, trying to keep them from shooting his vulnerable troops here. The infantry fight is much more even, although over here these victorious Swan Knights are being rushed by these archers, leaving his Eldar Rinway archers in position to confront Gondor's heavy cav. It looks like he slipped a unit of these guys around here. We're going to watch them charge. This is going to be amazing. Watch this. Kaboom! Yeah, the archers are going to countercharge, which is not going to go well for them. There's going to be a lot of casualties on the side of the Nori Tyrno. I have learned the hard way that it is a bad idea to charge cavalry with infantry. It looks like Gondor is slowly losing the infantry fight, though. This is where the battle starts to turn around and go in favor of the Elven player, who previously was on the defensive. Although he is managing some breakthroughs, these Swan Knights are formidable, even against Elven units. So his cav here is trying to fight these Elder Rinway, and there's just far too many of them. And I believe there's also some Mithlon nobles that got thrown into the mix there. So he's got, these Swan Knights here are going to be pretty much annihilated. Well, they have been already. I think they're actually routing. Yeah, there's another unit of Elder Rinway Spearmen coming up in support to menace those Swan Knights. And these guys here are being surrounded by these Elder Rinway, so they're going to start routing pretty quickly. Over here, though, these guys are holding their ground. I think there's like 1 or 2 units in there, and you can just see there's just a dead Elven Light Infantry everywhere. Yeah, there's another unit of Swan Knights over here that's holding their ground quite nicely. But elsewhere, on most parts of the battlefield, the Gondor infantry have been pushed back and annihilated, unfortunately, for Panda Chef here. But at this point, he's still got a fairly decent amount of soldiers left on the field. Now these Gondor, those are Tower Guard. They're doing really well against those Eregion troops that got left behind. Those Eregion Smiths who are just deadly. He's forming up his troops here. There is still a reasonably sizable contingent of Gondor Cav back here, so he's forming up his spearmen and some other heavy infantry in defense of them, or in defense of the rear of his line. These Lindon long spears are holding out quite nicely, but slowly, these 2 units of Swan Knights are pushing back all this Elven Light Infantry. So seeing what's going on, worldstage is going to rush some heavy infantry in there to support his flagging light infantry, and in the meantime, he's just going to pour the fire into these Gondor troops. So these victorious Gondor infantry here are going to find themselves pretty hard put to it, trying to fight this Elven long spear unit, and at the same time being shot by at least 2 companies of archers. So it's going to go pretty bad for them. As you can see, some of them are starting to go down here, although they are very stout troops. They're managing to weather that storm better than you would expect they would. Over here, the tide has turned against these Swan Knights. They're being surrounded, and they're being reinforced by heavier troops who are victorious from the fight in the center. Gondor is still doing really well. There's like a unit of Citadel Guard in there. Over here, the Cav fight is turning against Gondor. These Elder Rinway are holding their ground really nicely against these Swan Knights. Way back, you can just look at the carnage. Like, it's a really nice battle. It's just really close. But the Elven player's infantry has proved to be superior in this. I think if Panda had more archers, or had any archers, he would have been able to put the hurt on the Elven archers, which caused him just such terrible losses in his cavalry, which he desperately needed to really win this battle. But at the moment, it's looking like a bit of a foregone conclusion here. I mean, it's just a matter of time before the Gondor troops are completely wiped out. And it looks like Panda's general just went down. There's some rounding Swan Knights right there. Stokie Gunnar has died. Sad. And at this point, most of the Gondor infantry has been defeated. These Swan Knights here are doing really well for themselves, surprisingly. Looks like these Gondor infantry here have been routed by these Eldar units, and he's going to throw his victorious troops into the fray against those Swan Knights and completely surround them. He's bringing in more heavy infantry, and that is pretty much the end of the battle. So this was a fantastic battle on the side of both players here. I really enjoyed this one, and I like the next one even better, so I can't wait to show that to you guys. But there's the GG from the various players in the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and great job to both players. This round still hasn't been decided yet, so it could go any way. But that's it for the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.